on. What?
You say what?
I'm not saying the rest of that bar either. She talks about all sorts in that tune, bruv.
I feel like you have impeccable timing for whenever I want to start, you interrupt.
She says, like, take it in the butt. What?
Yeah, it's
Is it?
It's wild.
I don't even know why I know that. Why is that stored in there?
There's a crazy bar in my head.
Self-snitching, innit?
There's a crazy bar we can't say it, but it's in my head for some reason right now.
What?
That's
Can't
the
say
opening
this,
bar
man.
of like.
Cars, I used to be scared.
Oh yeah, I think that's the opening bar of like her debut.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
literally the opening
I
bar.
used to be scared. Now
That's
I'm
a great. That's a great intro.
I said, handle it like a real. Nah. Yo.
Free yourself, King.
Fam. I said, handle
Free
it
yourself,
like a real.
King.
Salute
Free
to-
yourself,
Nah,
King.
I can't say that whole bar.
Free yourself.
No, wait, I'll repeat that bar for bar.
Free yourself.
Yeah, Queen B, 2000.
No matter what people say, we got it going on. Who cares about what they say? Won't you come and you are the do that thing?
What's going on, world? Welcome to episode 86 of the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast. With your boys Peter,
Yo.
Mohammed,
Yo.
myself, Yemi. Today we have a special guest, a returning guest, writer, podcaster, cultural commentator, Eboni in the building.
Hey.
Welcome back, Eboni.
Hey, happy to
You
be
are
here.
you're a new spot as well.
I know. I like the new
yeah.
spot anyway. It's like it's nice, it's bright, cozy.
How you doing now?
You didn't even see the purple lights.
What purple?
We
lights?
got some purple lights on it that I was trying to
Oh.
convince these men to turn on. But
I mean, I would have been happy to, but I don't think he heard me
Oh,
as far as turning it on.
Alright.
It would have been appropriate, but
Next time, innit?
yeah. But yeah, thank you for coming down. Boys, how we doing?
Bless, man. How are you?
Not bad. Mohammed, you good?
Hey, man, chilling. God is good all the time.
All the time, God is good.
There we go.
Big up Drake's in the cut as well.
We got
Salute,
Drake.
salute.
As always. Shout out to everybody listening and shout out to everybody watching. Shout out the YouTube massive, the Amazon Music massive. I be forgetting the massives. Apple Music massive, Spotify massive, SoundCloud massive, all the massives. Thank you. Appreciate you watching and listening. Today's episode is going to be a special one. We're going to be focusing, a bit like the Miss Dynamite episode that we did recently, we're going to be focusing on one particular artist. And this artist is quite an important one in the history of rap and hip-hop generally. She is one of the most indomitable artists to come out of the game, especially during the time in the 90s where, you know, hip-hop was very much flourishing and developing, and she came in and made her imprint on the game in a way that, you know, so many people and artists that have followed her that have come to emulate. She is the notorious k.i.m. She's Queen B. She's Kimberly Denise Jones, known to the world as Lil Kim.
If Peter Piper pecked him, I bet you Biggie bust him. He probably tried to fuck him. I told him not to trust him. Lyrically, I dust him. Off like pledge, hit hard like sledgehammers. Bitch with that platinum grammar.
We're going to get into basically how we feel about her legacy, her impact, all that good stuff, and whatever happens in between, really. So, without further ado, guys, Lil Kim. What are the first things that come to mind when you hear the name Lil Kim?
You want to rumble with the B, huh? Throw a hex on the whole. That's the first thing.
You
that
couldn't
comes
wait
to
to
mind.
say that.
Couldn't wait.
Can I say man?
Go true.
I'm not going to say man.
I mean, I didn't
Legend.
say... Yeah,
It's on the intro anyway, isn't it?
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are we keeping that in the intro?
Of course.
Yes.
Alright, fair dues. I can't repeat it.
That's fine. You don't have
Can't
to,
repeat
man.
it.
Oh, you're talking about that?
Yeah.
What did you think you was
What
talking
did I think I
about?
was talking about?
I thought you had a line that you were going to say.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, it was that line.
It was that
Oh,
line.
you're
I
gonna
used
say
to be
that again?
scared. Now I'm home. Handle it.
You sound like you enjoy rapping that line a bit too much.
Handle it like I'm real. Nah, salute to Lil
But
Kim.
do you ever hear the Jay-Z talk about Queen Bitch and talk about how he had to like roll his windows up because he used to like to listen to it, but didn't want people.
Bro,
No, I heard that.
no, I'm telling you, bro. Like, you know, you don't know how you feel. Like, yo, this is nuts. Can't repeat it.
I think Biggie wrote that one though, because there's a
Yeah,
reference track.
I
for
think
it.
so.
Yeah.
Or like parts of it.
Yeah, parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah, legend, icon,
What was your first
trailblazer.
What do you think of
yeah,
when
that's
you
what
think
I
of Lil Kim? What's the first
what?
thing that comes up?
The
Yeah.
words I just said, bro. Legend, icon, trailblazer. I feel like, and I was thinking about this a lot this week. Like, for me personally, the first time I discovered her, I actually don't remember. One of the first things I remember was Lady Marmalade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her, Missy, Pink, Christina Aguilera, Maya. That was the first time I properly like knew who she was. Obviously, we got a brother and a sister, older brother and sister. They were, well, mainly our sister was playing that in the house, and me not being very aware of it. It's only this week that I've actually started to like proper like dig into her discography, like her debut album and upwards, and I think it was probably for the best because I feel like if I maybe have taken it in at a younger age, it might not have resonated as much with me. How much like musicality and how much the bars and all that, the whole package generally. So I guess when I first think of her, I think of those phrases like trailblazer, icon, legend. But now that I've actually had the chance to listen to her discography, like she's
Kim's
like,
cold.
dope. Like she's actually
cold.
dope. Like for me, I mean, I've listened up to was it the Naked Truth?
Oh yeah.
The 05 album.
Yeah.
Was that when she
Before
just
she
came out of
When she had just
I think it's before or after she went to jail.
yeah, one of
Yeah.
them.
I think it was after.
Okay.
I think there's references to her being in jail on the album.
Okay.
I think it was after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like her first 4 albums are dope. Like they're all like really high quality and they haven't aged badly at all for the most part. So I think that's one thing about her that maybe is slept on. The fact that she is like artistically like really, really good.
Yeah.
But let me save that.
Yeah, I mean that's it's slept on just because of how
Everything
we in
else.
the pop community view women rappers, isn't it? You automatically will assume that someone else is penning for them, and I think that will affect how you take them in. So that probably speaks to that.
Do you think it's
You
what
think
she's
it's
rapping
that?
about, or do you think it's because of what you
Yeah,
said?
I think it's that. I think sometimes if you automatically tie a woman rapper to a male rapper as well, then it will definitely affect like whether how you taking their art. I think so.
I think it's more. I think the reason why she slept on. I hear what you're saying. I think it might be more based on what she raps on. The only reason I say that is because I think,
What she raps on,
yeah,
as
I
in
think
production.
just what she's rapping about. I
Oh,
think
the content.
the content of it. I think we just don't allow it to. We don't allow ourselves to maybe give her the rating she deserves.
No, that's not it.
Yeah,
I
but
think
Kim's
that
actually,
can't be
but
it.
Kim's actually one of the.
No,
Kim's one of the female rappers that has actually not necessarily like broke that, but like has definitely like men listen to Kim.
No, that's
Like,
what I'm saying. I think
when those
definitely.
interviews come up and those like whoever's talk like whatever the rap guys etc. They're talking about like Kim when that came out. Money, power, respect. Some of the best features in like
Talk
some of the
about it.
best features. Like let's just
Talk about it.
And even-
Kim's probably one of the ones that like I would say like men aren't really afraid to say actually Kim.
And
Yeah, because she talks grease. It's
Yeah.
not all
This is
like
it. This is
I
it.
agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's not all
There's
like
some stories on there. She's talking of she's
And that's reflected on her albums, right? Like
Yeah.
there are skits of men, like especially in the first album.
There's
That
like-
opening skit is the wildest
It's a-
shit. Like, bruv, I was getting on the bus and I was listening to this. I was like, brother.
Yeah, it's a long guy. Yo, it's a
The
long
noises.
guy.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, yeah.
the
It's
noises.
a long guy.
It was the noises. I was like, bruv.
And
what is
like
going
back
on?
then, the way them lot were recording, that was like they was really in there doing that.
Doing
shit
that
for
Supposedly
for
real.
real.
wearing it. Yeah, supposedly they
They
really
was
were getting it
really in
busy.
there doing that
They
for
really
real.
were getting it busy.
Mazza. But that's Kim's impact, isn't it? Yeah, very much. But yeah, man, I feel like back in the day, like at least from what I heard on the albums, men were very like open with liking Lil Kim because, as Peter said, like she brought grease to the function.
What's the balance?
She brought that balance.
Yeah.
And even if like she was like a trailblazer in the sense of like the kind of more sexualized raps, because we got to consider the context of
She's
like
a blueprint for that.
100%. We got to
definitely
consider
is.
the context of like rap in general when she came into the game. Like some of the biggest female rappers, you had Queen Latifah,
Salt and
MC
pepper.
Light.
MC Light, Lauryn Hill was coming into the game.
Salt and pepper, I'm out.
Yeah, and then you had, and they were kind of more of the kind of more conscious type thing. And then you had on the other side, you kind of had more of the like more hardcore rappers like The Brat, Lady of Rage, and all those people. And Kim came in and completely flipped the script for what it means to be a female rapper. And
It was a breath of fresh air.
And the commercialization of her career, like being mainstream with the hits, the looks, the bars. Come on.
Yeah.
Everything needed to back it. Everything backed itself up.
Yeah, she married it all. Like, married it all
yeah,
together.
everything backed itself up. Because if the raps weren't there, you wouldn't care for the arts as much. It's all got to be a combination of things. And I think with her, everything. Do you know you see gold songs like All About the Benjamins? Money, Power, Respect, like you said. Like you're
Quiet
going up
Storm.
against.
Quite.
You're going up against elites. Like you're going up against the GOATs, maybe the Loxes, the
Get
Biggies.
money.
Like you're there with not
And
joke, man. Do you know
crossover
what I
appeal
mean?
as well.
Yeah.
And you've got to go there and hold your own. Like
I think quiet is kept as well, man. I don't think enough is spoken about. When we talk about like how she kind of kicked through the doors as far as like bringing in like the sex positivity and that, there was a lot behind that, man. Because apart from Uncle Luke, she like was getting a lot of corn from people, man. Like it wasn't easy for her to do what she did, and I don't think that gets spoken about enough. I think as far as like, you know, how we receive like explicit lyrics and content. I think we look at people like Uncle Luke as like, you know, the first ones and the early ones that were kind of fighting. But Kim went through a lot, man. She was like doing a lot of like talk shows and that where they were kind of getting onto her about it.
Oh yeah,
You know,
have you seen those
see Dolores Tucker.
See Dolores Tucker.
Yeah, she got
Dolores
out.
Tucker, use a mother.
She was getting at her as well, man. But I don't think that's like really spoken about enough. And I think that's something to be like, spoken about as well.
Because I think we look at...
Sorry, is he Dolores Tucker still alive?
I don't know.
See Dolores Tucker, use
If
a mother.
you're not, respectfully, you're not. But yeah. Yeah, go on.
No, you're good.
I had nothing left.
Oh, fair dues. I lost my train of thought, I'll be honest. I was actually going
No, I hear it. And she, a lot of pioneers, she had to bear the brunt of what she was creating. And
because even her peers were probably looking at her with like the side eye, like the MC lights and that. And I think I heard an interview with Rah Digger, and she was talking about how a lot of them were like, "Yo, what are you doing?
I swear.
Yeah, like you're ruining this thing for us. Like, what are you doing? You're over sexualizing us. Like, you're placing us in a position that a lot of us don't really want to be in." So even not only was she getting it from like the cultural critics and that, she was getting it from some of her peers. And that I don't know. I can't imagine what that must have been like to maneuver through.
Because Rah Digger and them are like a generation just above her, like slightly. Because she definitely Missy. Like they was all cool. They was rapping and doing like tunes and that. But
it's like you said though. The pioneers have to go through. They have to go through that. As unfortunate as it sounds, you have. If you're ever gonna break the mold, you're gonna have to go through that. And she was the person to hold it on her shoulders.
And I guess like for people like Rah Digger who might have had an issue with it, you got to think about the fact that they had to jump through so many hoops and make so many strides to even be considered lyrical or like proper MCs. If we go back to Roxanne Shante and all those people, so for Kim to then go and do that and kind of subvert that, even if she had bars, the bars almost are secondary to the actual presentation. And that's another thing with Kim, like, as far as presentation is concerned, she very much changed the game in that as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Obviously because of, you know, what she was doing. But I can see both sides, but at the same time, she was playing on what society was at the time. Society loved that sort of stuff. And that was a society where people were still going to the cinema and watching porn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's so wild.
Wait, what?
Which is what makes the opening skit of Hardcore even wilder. Because it made me think, these men used to go to the cinema to watch porn.
It's a bit mad.
Actually mad. How did you guys discover Lil Kim?
I think I first came across Kim watching like through Mary J. Blige actually, the I Can Love You video. Like playing probably like on MTV Base or something like that. Like when I was like obviously like a kid and just thinking what like I just thought this was like the sickest rap ever. And that's actually that's like my earliest memory of Kim. And then after that, just like I guess that era of like no matter what you say, like the 2000s and stuff like that. But yeah, that was that's my earliest memory of Kim on that Mary J. Blige I Can Love You tune.
I think mine might have been on Crush on You. I remember seeing that video at a very young age. Not quite sure what year, but yeah, those are like some of my earliest memories of seeing Kim, like visually.
Yeah.
I was just like, there was just so many colours. Do you know what I mean? And like, even at that age, man, I'd never seen a black woman kind of like perfect all these different styles and all these different looks with all these different colours, man. So even like at that time, I was like, oh, this is like interesting. So that was like my first.
Shout out Lil C's.
Yeah.
Mo?
Shout out Lil C's. Mine was a bit like you with Lady Marmalade, but I also remember my sister listened to Lil Kim heavy. Like I remember my sister listening to the song with her, Angie Martinez.
Oh yeah, the ladies.
Yeah, like listening to that. When I tell you heavy, and I remember All About the Benjamins. Like, those are the three songs I would say. If I can tell you what songs I remember hearing in my crib, I remember hearing All About the Benjamins and my sister playing it, or my brother playing All About the Benjamins, or my sister listening to her and Angie. But that'll kind of be my earliest recollection of her. Earliest that I can remember, because my sister was a heavy Lil Kim fan, I can't lie. I wanted that poster, but you know, there was no I wanted that poster.
Everybody wanted that.
I'll tell you that for free. I wanted that poster, fam, I can't lie.
Mad.
But yeah, that'll be my earliest memory of hearing it and then thinking,
Yeah, I mean, Kim is very like special in a sense. Obviously, you've got that nice blend of like the sexuality and the raps. Topically, she's on point as well. She's very greasy, but she can also get very deep as well. I think she's shown that across her discography. Like I said before, I feel like her discography is mad slept on, just as far as like the quality and how good it is. And I guess that's just like the gift and the curse of being who she was in terms of like the representation. Like by default, no one's gonna take you seriously because of what you look like and how you are. Is that fair?
But that's what I meant.
But wouldn't you say like her backing with Biggie kind of certified her so that that wouldn't be the case?
I think it made
Like, and Junior Mafia, like that whole association of being like associated with them.
I think it made it harder because I think people automatically assumed that Big was writing for her.
Yeah.
So I think it made it difficult, even though stylistically it was amazing and sonically it was amazing in that. I don't know where the respect started coming in because they just assumed that, you know what I mean? Because at that point, I think a lot of the women that we would have just assumed that men were writing for them. Apart from like maybe MC Lyte, maybe Queen Latifah, all the others you might have just assumed. So even though Biggie was there, it might have actually made it a bit harder having Biggie there, you know? It would kind of been double whammy where, okay, cool, there are advantages, but disadvantages as well.
But just to get people to listen to her though, like, I'm sure that helped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
just the ears.
Yeah, just
The
to
ears she
get
got.
the ears on her, like just to get people listening and to get like other men listening. Like I'm pretty sure that was definitely like
Definitely. Your cosign's the biggest rapper in New York. That cosign's definitely going to give you a bit of a push. But I think it's like you said, when I meant her raps, I think I meant more towards what you said.
Yeah.
Just the
and
image of her and
her
everything.
also
was
being
more
kind of
what
like
people-
like
Like you
featured on not even just like her also being featured on a lot of like people's songs, like Jay-Z's like on Volume 1. She's on there. Like she was that go-to feature for them for that era.
Is
of
that
like,
I Know What Girls Like? Awful song. Awful song.
But she's on there. But like, you know, like
list.
for that 90s era, like the golden age of like hip hop and shit like that, like Kim is all over that. All over the R&B records, all over the like the guys in the rap records, like, you know.
Yeah, I suppose that association with Big is a gift and a curse for the reason that you guys stated. I think for me, it's, especially as you get older, you start to appreciate the fact that she was able to hold her own next to those people. And even, to be honest, like in the Junior Mafia, probably be...
She was the best.
She was the best.
I feel like,
She was the best.
like Junior Mafia
need
is
to
like
think
the
about it.
Outlaws, man. Let's be fucking serious.
Yeah, I can't, like, we don't even need to think about it.
Peter, care to retort?
No, it's true.
It's true. It's true. Let's say who second is. Lil C. Let's not do that.
I mean, I don't... Who's in the Junior Mafia?
Lil C.
C's.
If you can name two more,
Kim.
if you can name two more,
A rapper
besides
called
these-
Klepto.
That's a horrible name.
Yeah. That's
So,
all I've got.
you could do the Outlaws though, innit?
Napoleon,
Napoleon.
Idi Amin, Young Noble, Gaddafi.
Gaddafi, the one.
Yeah, that's all I've
Why are
got.
they all named after dictators?
That's what he done.
That was intentional.
Gaddafi was the one that was hit him up end of it.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
Either hit or there.
So
She
yeah,
had- she
Kim
had-
was the best in Junior Mafia.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Kim was
Funnily enough, she
Yeah.
dissed Tupac as well. On because
Tupac
there's
dissed
another.
her too. On like
Yeah,
him
yeah,
up.
but
Yeah,
she
he's
responded-
like, he's like,
Yeah. But she responded to that on her Big Mama thing. There's another version.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, swear.
but Puff didn't let her put it on the album though.
Swear.
Yeah.
Why?
They didn't want to
Have you heard
feed
it?
into that. Yeah, I've heard it. Yeah.
Also, the
It's
version
out,
out.
yeah, you can find it.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
okay,
out.
okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Tupac causing trouble.
what you say?
always.
Who knew?
You the back.
Nah.
You wanted to know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like Kim is it's a special case, man. I feel like the way she came into the game, I feel like, I mean, that in itself is kind of like a blueprint in itself, because obviously other rappers have kind of followed that blueprint as far as like being co-signed by like a much bigger rapper. And,
Was
like,
she the first?
Was she the first? I don't know if she was the first, because I feel like Marley Marl might have like co-signed someone.
Roxanne Shante?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roxanne.
So yeah, that might have been the first.
Yeah.
But as far as like the most like well-known, might be Kim.
Okay.
Next to Nicki as well with Wayne. So I feel like, yeah, in a world of first, she ticks a lot of those boxes.
And the trend of just having a female rapper on your imprint, like going
That
forward,
too.
like on like whatever indie
just having
labels
that-
and stuff. Yeah, just having
That one
the
female
first
rapper.
lady of Rough Riders and shit like that.
Oh shit, no, you're right though. You're right.
That
No, you're
was
actually.
that, yeah.
The more you think, yeah.
With these.
Yeah. Because Iggy Azalea was the first lady of.
Oh, see? Grand Hustle. The murder
Oh, he
business.
did.
Oh, sorry,
The murder business.
Yeah, that stinks.
But with
man.
the
Sorry.
with like the sex positivity lyrics that she had, should it have been that much of an uproar considering like Salt and Pepper kind of did a bit of that as well?
I feel like
It was everything with this, though, the image.
So the
I feel like
image.
the
Yeah.
image. Bro, look at her poster, man. Like,
And,
come on,
and the
man.
music, right? Like
Yeah.
you literally, there's a song on I don't know if it's Notorious Kim or the first album, but it's literally moans as like the beat drop. So she's like rapping and it goes dun dun like it's like a proper moan, like it's like, and that's
threw me
literally
off.
they use.
that threw me the
That
fuck
song's
off.
hard though, but like I think it's hard, but like literally they like I think Salt and Pepper weren't doing that. They weren't like incorporating moans into the
Kim was
instrument.
very,
Kim's
Like,
bro,
Kim was
Kim's,
very explicit.
yo, Kim's bars, bro. Nah, Kim's
Like
bars.
I've never
bro.
known anybody to want to get eaten out as much as Lil Kim.
Bro, there's a bar.
You know what I'm saying?
Something about ape. I forgot what the bar was. There's a mad bar. You know?
Salt and Pepper probably knew the limits and the levels that they could go at the time, like the late 80s, whereas Kim clearly just didn't
Yeah,
care.
Kim was
Yeah,
talking.
Kim
I think
was-
on Queen Bit she
Kim-
was like,
Kim
"I
didn't-
got
wasn't
buffoons
playing by
eating my
rules.
pussy while
That's
I
what I
watch
meant by
cartoons."
apes. Yo, that's what I meant by apes.
You
Yeah,
see?
custom made on
Yeah,
Notorious
got
Kim.
buffoons
Literally,
eating my pussy
it's
while I watch
moans and
cartoons.
instrumentals,
That's
just,
mad.
Like, come on.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No one else was doing that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, even now that sounds not as bad, but it's also like wow. Like in the 90s, like that must have been like very like revolutionary. and
How many
groundbreaking
men
to
were
do that.
doing it though? Like, did she also have a sort of an influence, like with regards to some men exploring a bit more sexual type bars in their music?
Nah, Park had All About You, man, as well.
What,
Snoop,
post
Snoop
Lil'
was
Kim?
doing Snoop as well.
Yeah, post Little Kim.
Snoop was moving wild as well. Snoop had
Yeah, but they were. I don't
Like
think
LL, like LL Cool J.
they weren't really getting as detailed as
Yo,
Kim.
Park was
man.
getting.
Park-
Was he
but I don't
All
feel
About
like-
You was it
ODB?
ODB.
ODB was fairly explicit.
Okay.
And Snoop had a very I forgot which one it was, but there's a song of him and Nate with this, but I don't know if it came out after Lil Kim.
Okay.
It's a mad explicit Snoop song. I forgot what it's called.
But pre or post?
That's what I need to check. But I feel like it was pre. Kim.
Probably.
But it's a mad
I feel
explicit
like there
song.
might have been something on the Chronic.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll check it, but it's a mad.
It's like you know, like Bad Intentions, like Dre and
Nocturnal.
yeah. Like it's not necessarily explicit, but just the way in which that beat's put together, like the video. Like I think there's even like the after hours like version of that video and shit like that. But yeah, I think him, you know.
I think guys were getting there anyway. I think guys were just gonna naturally just get it. I think Kim.
Do
It's
you
like you
think
said, Trailblazer.
had Kim not kind of dove into that, do you think she still would have gone as far as she has?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I think so.
No, because
No.
I feel like she probably would be seen in the same levels that we see like a Queen Latifah, but would she be as successful? No, because
And I also just think that's her thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's.
She
I don't think
leveraged-
I think it's true to who she
Yeah, I
is.
don't think
Yeah.
there was another way. Like, I don't think we're gonna find like old raps of her, like just I don't know, like
They're just
trying to-
barring hard. Yeah,
trying to be like MC Light or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
just her thing. Like
Yeah, she
you know,
leveraged
that
her
was
sexuality.
that was her perspective on the game, like on
And
how
if-
to do this.
If she weren't here, bro,
Yeah, this
do
thing
you know
would
how
look, this thing would
much
look
rap
different.
would be?
Yeah.
Rap would be so different right now if there was no Kim. How different rap would be.
all of them are her sons.
All of them.
To paraphrase someone
Yeah.
else who was influenced by
And-
Kim.
Like Nicki is her child. That respectfully. Respectfully.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say her name, but cool.
Oh, sorry. He who shall not be named.
No, you can say her name.
Like you know what I mean, though, innit? That's
Yeah.
you can't tell me that's not a fruit of
Of
your tree.
course.
And we haven't had another woman like in rap actually advance the game further than it stayed at where Kim took it. Like so she changed it when she came in and it hasn't actually advanced in that space.
You don't think
It's
Nicki?
I think
helped
Nicki pushed
advance?
it. I think Nicki pushed
advance
it.
it how she's still just like
But if it
it's
went
it's the same looks. It's the same like looks. It's the same like,
Poses.
she raps like you
but
know,
she gave that avenue to other people.
like same looks, still bars, decent enough like albums, whatever. What's advanced? What's new? What's new? There's nothing new from that. We've seen it already. Like it hasn't gone further than that.
Is the advancing not the commercializing even more so?
Plus
Kim-
venturing into pop sounds as well, like EDM and house and all that. What Nicki did, Starship.
And
and all
Kim,
that.
Kim, and
Yeah,
Kim, and
maybe
Kim,
actually
and
with the
Kim,
pop.
Kim probably opened the door for that on the second album with how many licks? I feel
Yeah,
like that
maybe.
was like
Like
you
maybe
know,
with the pop stuff, I would definitely maybe like say that could be potentially like maybe that could be argued, yeah, like to be advanced. But otherwise, it's just it's the same stuff. Like you know,
The music is shit though, so I'm not trying to give Nicki that much
no,
credit.
the music's whack.
I'm
But I
not
think
trying to give her that
commercially,
much credit.
I think commercially she pushed it. She pushed that envelope.
No,
to
she
another-
definitely did, but
she definitely pushed it
ultimately,
commercially to another envelope.
But it's definitely she took the blueprint, right? She was even posing the same as Kim at one point. That famous poster, that hardcore poster.
Oh, she copied
Nicki
it.
did the same thing.
Like early.
It was homage though.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more you took the baton and ran with it more than I just think like Kim gave it to her and she just ran with it.
Yeah,
but it's definitely you can see where the lineage is.
Yeah, but
the top of the tree is always gonna be the top of the
But like
tree.
Nicki isn't her own island. Maybe is what I'm trying to say. Like Nicki isn't her own island. She's comes. So that's where I guess I'm saying with the
Yeah, I
advancement
see
of
what
the
you're
game.
saying. I agree.
So she still comes from that Kim lineage. So the game hasn't moved on from that. Yeah, it hasn't
Kim is the
gone
root.
elsewhere.
Kim is the root.
Yeah.
And Nicki, City Girls, Meg,
Everyone-
GloRilla, Ice Spice,
It's all from
Doja,
there.
Cardi.
Sweetie, Cardi. They're all from that tree. They owe a lot to her. And she makes better music than all of them.
Yeah.
Even still.
That was so unnecessary.
I don't think it was, bro.
So even
I
still
don't
now?
think it was. Huh?
You said even still?
Maybe not even still. But discography-wise,
Oh, she wins.
I mean, she's got the discography that everyone goes back to. She's got the tunes that everyone's gonna go. She's got the tunes that come up in when you talk about the best songs made within this like hip hop thing. The rest of them do not, unfortunately. They just don't.
she's got too many, man.
She's got, like I said about the features, her name is the name that's gonna come up still, and is the only one that comes up still. Like, you know,
when you talk
when we're talking rap, because you can't. Lauryn Hill only had the one album. Missy does the singing and the songwriting and the rap. Like Kim's name consistently always across all convos.
yeah, when you talk classic hip hop songs,
Like,
Kim's in
she's
a
got
few,
a bunch.
man. Kim's in
Jump
the
like-
Off,
yo.
Thug Love, Magic Stick, Lighters Up, Crush on You, How Many Licks, no matter what they say. And you got bangers like Came Back For You, Queen Bitch, Drugs, Don't Mess With Me, Notorious Kim. Whoa.
Crazy.
Like,
Bruv, you got to get money.
No
you got
one
You
is
didn't, you didn't
shooting.
even say
see
Quiet
the-
Storm.
you see the
Quiet
Quiet
Storm.
Storm. Get money.
You didn't even say like Benjamins. It's
Money
like,
Power.
that's the top
Yeah,
five hip hop
Money,
track to
Power,
me.
Respect.
Money, Power,
Money, Power,
Respect.
Respect.
I was saying
what?
her own songs, but yeah.
But even the features, like,
But even-
it's
yeah,
a
her features.
joke.
Yeah.
It's actually a joke.
She's
how much-
averaging
Nah, man.
45, 50.
Yeah.
All right, let me play devil's advocate here, right? Let me ask you like something.
Here he goes.
So, like, what would you say to the people that feel as though she had a negative impact on hip hop as far as like the hyper sexualization of women and rap?
I feel like we had this conversation when Eboni was last here, and that is a microcosm of what's going on in society. Society is hypersexualized. Kim is just a representation of what society is. If you want society to be different, change society, and that will then change the content of the music. I don't think you can blame someone who's just a vessel of that
Right.
to be for society's problem, because it is society's problem. It's not rap's problem. It might be a bit mad for certain people, especially for certain people who might have a different way of thinking as far as women getting across their points and, you know, marketing themselves in whatever way. But ultimately, the world has made it so that this should happen, that this has happened. And it's not on anybody who's actually like taking advantage of that to change that. Because ultimately, if it wasn't Kim, it was going to be someone else.
Yeah,
all
that's
right, let
facts.
me push back to that, right? So, yes, fine, you might say it's a society problem, but at that point in rap, there weren't many women that was doing what she did. She decided to come along and take that stance, right? And fair enough, it was true to her, but she was taking she took what was happening in society and brought it into rap. No one else was doing it at that point. So,
I mean, Missy was talking rap like on her album.
yeah, I mean, Missy's different,
Like,
innit?
but she doesn't have the look, right?
Yeah.
She didn't have the
And
look.
that takes it to
Okay,
another
but they
level,
were-
innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that, but I'm not really convinced by that argument because, again, like we have the Missy example, Salt and Pepper before her. Even though they weren't as explicit, they were still doing it. So in a way, they kind of opened it up for Kim to even be what she was, sort of thing. So again, I can't put too much responsibility on her doorstep because she was just reacting to or a reaction to society generally and where it was going. Like especially like in the mid 90s, late 90s, like if we relate it back to wrestling, you see what was going on in wrestling back those times there. Sable, Sunny, all these women.
Jacqueline.
Shout out those women. So yeah, I mean, listen, it was a whole thing. It was part of a whole, I don't know if you want to call it counterculture, but society was moving in that way anyway.
Yeah.
And in rap, I suppose it found a face in Kim. So I'm not gonna put too much blame.
And
on her.
everything in rap around that time anyway was being criticised like in that way. Oh, it's too violent, it's too this, like, so, you know.
Especially with like the C. Dolores Tuckers of the world.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? And all of the like black middle class at the time who were just kind of, you know.
Yeah, looking down on it. And
yeah.
like, they just thought everything about it was bad.
Yeah.
So like, Kim, like, again, you can't really blame her. Like, she was just reflecting what was going on.
Do you think her ranking as an MC has an asterisk because of the fact that Big might have written quite a lot of her stuff?
Yeah.
I actually want to know how much he actually wrote.
Yeah,
Supposedly
this is
he
it.
didn't-
Like, I hear
supposedly-
it, but I never like. Have we heard and have we actually heard like reference tracks and
Apart from Queen Bitch,
But supposedly Big didn't
To be-
write.
to be- to be fair,
supposedly
to be
Big
fair,
didn't
I think
write
they
a
said
lot
like I
for
think they
her.
said like Lil C's, but the thing is that Kim, okay, like Queen Bitch is like one of her like, you know, like one of her top tunes, but like she continued to go on to make
and
more
that's what I
songs.
was gonna say. I think to be
like,
fair to
even
Kim,
better songs you might argue, like, you know, and
Facts.
cold verses
Yeah.
and just so.
and to
I
be
don't
fair
know.
to Kim, I think she's been quite open about it because she would say that
And-
Big helped on this, but you know,
And there's
Big's
a-
been dead for X amount of years,
Yeah.
And there's
you
a
know.
tune on the Naked Truth where she kind of actually like addresses that. I think it's called "Shut Up, Bitch." And she's like-
Yeah.
she literally addresses that. Oh, like Big wrote her shit. Like, she's just like,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on, guys, let's be serious.
So by that point, maybe the 1 or 2 or 5 tracks that he helped write
Yeah.
versus the rest of her catalogue after he passed, especially,
It's so lopsided.
Yeah,
it's so lopsided. So it's like it
Yeah.
doesn't bother me anymore. It doesn't bother
yeah,
me.
same.
If anything, I want more respect on her name as an MC generally, like amongst all generations. I don't see it. I don't see her name spoken about enough. Maybe it's because people haven't dug into her
amongst the
catalogue
men, I
much.
think. I think it's amongst the men. I think any woman that's a rap fan like talks about Kim. It's the men that
You
don't
have
really,
to.
Yeah, it's
You
the men.
have
It's the
to.
men that don't really position her where she might need to be positioned.
But that needs to change.
It won't.
But there's no women like that. Top 5 convo is always all men. So
Yeah, for sure.
It's no women like get it. It's been the same 5 or alternate 5, but women never like make it into that.
For
top
me,
5.
for my top 5, the reason why that is because I haven't found a woman that raps better than my favorites. You could argue Lauren, but I just, you know.
That's fair.
But for
Yeah.
a lot of people, it might not even come down to that. It just be
Yeah.
like, no, I don't listen to women
Yeah,
who
no,
rap.
that's
Do you know what I mean?
facts.
Because I remember listening to a Sean Price interview, and like,
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. And they were asking him, yo, top 5 like women rappers. He's like, I don't listen to women rappers. And that the interview was persistent, like, yo. And he was like, Raw Digger, I'll give you Raw Digger, but I don't listen to women rappers. And that's probably a lot of men's stance. So, yeah.
It needs to change.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Like, there's literally no reason for men to continue to have this stance in 2023.
I think a lot of it's to do with the sexuality of it, man. A lot of men aren't able to. I think they find it a bit weird.
They get
to-
uncomfortable. like,
Yeah, they're
listening.
very uncomfortable with like the sex talk and that. They're not able to kind of,
And
you know what I mean,
think,
receive
like,
it.
I feel like men.
Hypocrisy.
I feel like men
I couldn't
also
even
like
repeat
have
the
a
buzzword.
problem with like putting themselves in other people's shoes. Like they can't put. They just
On
cannot.
women's
But they
shoes.
can
Yeah,
though.
women's shoes. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry,
exactly. Women's shoes.
Yeah.
Because they can though. All these rappers that are
Yeah,
drug
no, it's
dealers,
true.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Are
it's
you
true.
selling my friend? You're not.
It's
You know what I
different
mean?
though, man.
So why?
Putting yourself in what a drug dealer's shoes and a
Yeah,
woman's
for
shoes.
instance.
I could put myself in a drug dealer's shoes.
Okay.
I can never put myself in the shoes of.
So what's the
Let me throw
difficulty?
lips. I can't. I can't.
You
Okay,
love
but
that
you-
bar.
okay.
That's like your favorite
I
bar.
can't, like,
Yeah, isn't it? How many times has he said it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
that bar is,
It's
bro.
cold.
I'm
But
doing
you
the
say,
whole
but
thing.
that, bro. But you say that, but you're a big Rhapsody fan.
Yeah.
Exactly. So how do
So
you
what's the
explain that?
difference with
then?
Rhapsody for you?
Is it because she's not over?
Yeah, it's just
sexual?
sexualization.
But even if we think
But that's
about
just not. That's not me knocking Lil Kim. I know Lil Kim's phenomenal. It's just I'm saying, could I? If I'm ranking them, then the rankings don't matter what they're rapping about. I'm saying just me enjoying it. I fuck with Lil Kim, but after I'm gonna be like, yo, this is a bit
But let's think
crazy.
about. But Mo, let's think about this logically. A lot of us in this room have had sex, right? And for the men in the room that have had sex, for me anyway, it's quite easy for me to put myself in Kim's shoes when I've been in a position where I've been chasing a girl for sex, right? So what's the difference?
I don't understand that.
I mean, let's say you're a man, you've had sex with a girl,
I am
right?
a man.
Let's say you're a man and you've had sex with a girl, right? Why is it then difficult for you to listen to a song from a woman about having sex with a man?
Me personally, it doesn't bother me.
But I'm saying
I
for
can- I can-
argument's sake.
I don't have to relate to that part of the song. That's fine. If the whole song's about that, then cool. I might just enjoy it for what it is. But I don't really have that difficulty. Where I may not listen to a woman rapper is just because I think she's whack. But I attribute that same sort of standard to men that rap too.
That's a
It's just
fact.
whackness to me. I'm anti-whackness. I don't care about your. I don't care about your sex.
Anti-whackness league.
That's
the
it,
way you
man.
said it, bro.
It's true though. That's
Yeah,
all it
man.
is for me personally. But
But obviously for others,
it's
difficult.
techie. Yeah,
No, it's actually not even that techie.
I talk to a
'Cause
lot of men
I
them
can
that
listen
have the
to.
difficulty.
I was listening to Kim for the last week, so it's actually really not that techie to me. But say, could I listen to? If I'm listening to, it's hard. But
But you listen to Cardi as well, right?
that's what I fuck with Cardi.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
You listen to Kim every
Yeah, I'm
day.
bugging. Yeah, I listen to Cardi a lot. It actually don't affect
Yeah.
me. I'm such a liar. Yeah, I'm just thinking that. I listen to Cardi way too much for it to affect me.
There you go.
Because Cardi's first album, Get Up to the Years, I listen
Yeah.
to Cardi a lot. And it don't affect me. But now, can I go home and listen to WAP? This way it gets techie. Can I go listen to WAP now?
Great song.
Nah.
But there is still a block though with like male rap consumers though,
It's
as far as how they rate
it's
women though,
psychological.
because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rhapsody raps better than a lot.
But
man.
we say that though. We admit that
It's
amongst ourselves.
psychological. It's psychological. I think it's got something to do with men's relationship with women and how they view women. It might, well,
Yeah,
not all of them.
Rhapsody comes across like she's got a more comfortable appearance to you. She looks like that, like the woman, like the
She's not
idol.
intimidating.
Yeah,
Idol, yeah.
and she's like, yeah, she's not like scaring you guys, I guess.
scaring us how though?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a man. I don't know what it is. I just think it's weird.
it's a
I feel like that whole thing of like always like I love Rhapsody, but that constant like oh man, like they're just like chatting about like who they slept with. Like they need to be more like Rhapsody because she's wearing hoodies. Like
Because she's wearing hoodies.
like what's happening? Like because she has a tune on like was it? I can't remember the album now. I think it's like the debut album or whatever. It's like sassy. She's talking about like getting with guys and shit,
Yeah.
but she's wearing hoodies. So.
And I don't think was it pushed as a single as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, it was
Like,
a single.
No, I don't think it was a single, but like
Okay.
she's not talking about like sex or relationships.
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
No, she
whatever.
talks about it.
She is.
She talks about it.
But
She
she's
talks
wearing
about
hoodies, like
The Rhapsody stays heartbroken, bruv. She be talking about that
It's the
shit.
same with Sims as well, isn't it? Same
Yeah.
argument with Sims.
it. Exactly.
yeah.
that.
Like we're only
And
now.
I love Sims. I think Sims is like should be in the top 5 of the UK all
Facts.
time. Like
And the last song from the new album was about her partner, and it became this whole thing. Because
And
she
even
doesn't-
Grey Area, same
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
because she
yeah.
doesn't talk because she doesn't talk about it as
Yeah.
much, right? I don't
And
want to call her
like-
conservative, but
But
she's
men
not as
desexualize women who don't overtly show their sexuality.
And then they sexualize women
Yeah, you're
that
like,
do,
"Oh, shit, you like men?"
overtly show their sexuality.
Exactly.
because men inherently are very sexual and they don't want to feel like
Is
they're
this like
competing.
a fact or?
I mean,
That's right, yeah.
the University of Life will tell you it's a fact. But they don't want anybody competing on that level, I suppose. A woman, anyway. And that's kind of how I see it. I don't know. It's a bit strange to me.
Yeah, it's a
strange
techie-
to me.
It's a techie
For
one.
me, it's all entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's entertainment. Even if it does happen to her on a daily, cool. Add to the story, sort of thing. But I never really had a problem with the explicitness of it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was revolutionary for its time.
Yeah. for real.
Definitely.
You know
was
what I'm
that.
saying? But I mean,
Why do you lot feel like Kim completely like superseded Foxy Brown? Because at a point that was like her contemporary, and that was the only other MC that she was really like
Compete with.
pitted against, didn't it? So what happened to where Kim just kind of left her?
Music didn't hold up. China Doll is terrible. She changed her voice too. Like Foxy has like a deeper like register, like a deeper tone. But on China Doll, like if you go back and listen, they've like either she's putting a
That's the
voice
second
on,
one.
yeah, and or they've pitched her voice up. It sounds weird,
up.
and the songs just don't. They're not. Like
Great.
I don't know. I just don't feel like they held up.
but
I was never a Foxy fan. I'll be honest with
Foxy's
you.
fire, bro.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Foxy's
I was
fire,
never,
man.
what happened to Foxy's voice? Something happened to her, innit?
I mean, she
Oh,
had
she
an
was
ear.
deaf.
Yeah, she
went deaf
like,
for a bit, but
She
Deaf for a
sounded
bit.
good on that Nas album, but and on the Nicki album actually, but I think
she did not sound good on Nicki. album.
you don't think?
Oh yeah, she
I
was
thought-
on Nicki's album.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
she was
I
on
can't
like
lie,
she was like on like the last song or whatever.
I
I can't remember.
was never there for Foxy.
oh, Foxy
can't
was
lie,
fire.
Foxy
I
was cool.
haven't dug into
Yeah.
it, but from where I'm looking, consistency. Kim was just so much more consistent.
It was just too much at one point.
Kim was probably most.
And she had better looks, like in terms of like she was on more things. She was just around, and she had the foray into fashion as well. So
Mm.
her profile was just much bigger than whatever Foxy was doing.
And when you're
But I think Foxy came into it like modeling. I think Kim was like came into the game with some madness shit. Do you know what I mean? So like you would have thought that Foxy might have got the looks, but I guess it never really happened, didn't it?
But it seems maybe at that time if anyone could have picked, they were picking Kim, and Kim was available.
on
so.
the bigger tracks.
Yeah,
the more culture
if Mobb
impacted
Deep
tracks.
could have picked,
Yeah.
they picked Kim.
Yeah.
Like, do you know?
If
So,
Diddy was picking, he's picking Kim.
and I think Kim's she's a better rapper than Foxy too.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
that.
she's
And to
better.
Ebony's point, she was more of a total package, right?
Yeah.
Like even in going into the culture, like we were talking in pre-pod about like her moment at the VMAs.
Yeah.
That iconic moment with the titty out.
Like
Feel me?
people dress
Yeah.
up as Kim for Halloween. I don't think Foxy even had a brand like
done it,
in that way.
yeah.
Don't really. What do we really even know? People didn't even know that she had that ear issue like for time. Like so, you know.
I had no idea.
Yeah, because she told us about
no, I
it.
heard,
Yeah,
So
like-
she sounded crazy on a couple of songs, and I heard something happened to her. No, don't disrespect. She sounded wild, bro. She sounded wild on a few songs.
So yeah. Obviously, Big died. Kim had went on to do what she was doing, but she actually had Jay.
And us.
And
Fam, that was crazy,
That's a
man.
fumble. That's an epic fumble.
Like, let's be real.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Jay-Z's,
that's
like you know
wild.
that cover, that XXL cover that they always bring up, like his presidential cabinet, and it's like Foxy, Bron, Jay, Kanye. Like,
I
let's
had
be
that magazine.
fucking
Yeah,
real.
yeah, I
like,
had that, yeah.
nah, she had
nah,
a sweet frugal.
if she
Sweet
could,
frugal.
like, she should have done more.
Yeah, she
really.
The goal was there.
Yeah.
You just went deaf.
Jay was like, no, I mean that was way later, but like Jay was writing bars and stuff for her too. You know.
Meanwhile, especially after Big died, Kim, I mean, obviously she still had Diddy, but
Yeah.
she was more or less
Diddy's
on
not
her own.
writing.
Yeah.
Right,
Which is
strips.
crazy, you know.
And still pumping out great music. And I think that's what boils down to.
And she gave Ray J a career. You know?
Don't do that.
Could you care to explain?
Grief. That tune was hard though.
No, that Wait a Minute tune
That tune was hard,
Like,
yeah.
Ray J's like that was like one of his first early singles.
I think
right?
that was his first.
Yeah, I think that's the first single.
Yeah,
right?
Ray J's
before-
got too many.
And Kim's
moments.
on that, and that tune just goes. Like I know it's like Neptune producer
Yeah,
session, but
yeah.
it goes. Like it's just
Yeah, it's
But
hard.
she
you
also
know.
featured 50 Cent as well.
Yeah,
Majestic was coming
yeah,
up,
yeah.
the game as
Majestic.
well. Like she's
Yeah.
had her hand on the pulse, man.
Yeah,
She's had her hand on the pulse.
and they want her. Like they'll pick her. Like they'll want Kim to come through and do that.
And she hasn't shied away from beef either.
Yeah, no,
I love
What?
the fact that she's got it, man. I love that.
Took Eve's head off.
Damn. Yeah, she did to be
Yeah.
fair.
I did not know that about
Yeah.
Kim. Adds to a legend,
Yeah, man.
sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, man.
Do you think artistically there's any like weaknesses that she has? Because for me, I feel like the kind of over-reliance on the sexuality and the kind of grease might be a bit of a hindrance.
That's who
But
she is.
that's
though,
what I was
bro.
just gonna say, but
That
if
is-
that's who
Because
you
then
are,
it's
that's who
like,
you
can
are.
you say the same about like someone like Pusha T who like?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, that's fine then.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
people do.
But I
to
think
be
that's
fair.
if that's all
'cause
you know, that's all you know.
All rappers have their thing though, don't they? Like Drake's always telling us about the relationships that failed.
He should
and,
stop.
like whatever. Jay-Z's always telling us about how rich he
He
is
should
and
definitely
like
stop.
his past as a boss and all of these types, like, you know, like drug dealing, etc. All of these types of things. So I think Ross is lying to us every fucking song. Like, you know, we love him, but he's lying to us every tune about his mafia boss lifestyle. Like, that's sweet. And that's fine.
What do you say? This guy Noriega owes
I
him
said,
100
I
favors.
know the real Noriega. He owes me 100. He was a
And it's a
parole-
bar.
He was a parole officer,
It's
sir.
a fucking bar.
He was a parole officer, sir.
But this is it. He's lying every
yeah.
song, but no one's like, oh, you know, anything about that. So
Yeah, I think for me, I don't always need variation in my rappers, man. If you do
Yeah.
something very well, but you do it in different ways, I'm cool with that. Man. So I mean, and I think Kim kind of exhibits that. So yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it's necessarily a hindrance. It might be for someone, but
I'll-
not for me.
I'd rather you know what you're good at
Yeah.
and stick to that than trying some other shit and it just don't work out. Depending on how good you are at that one thing, if that makes
Have
sense.
you got someone in mind?
Do I?
I don't know. You look to me like you have someone in mind.
No.
Okay, cool.
But like, say Steph.
See?
Steph's a great shooter. I don't need you to be,
Anything else?
yeah, like, even though he can, don't disrespect him, but when you know what you can do and you're the greatest at doing it,
Yeah.
I'm good with you just getting the ball, knocking it from 40, knocking it from 30.
Yeah.
You get what I
which
mean?
is kind of what all the great rappers do. Like they
Exactly
know
that.
exactly what they're good at and like what to talk about, where their content lies, and they don't.
They don't
kind
really
of-
stray.
Yeah, they don't really do too much outside of that, and that's why we call them great.
Precisely.
I do like that she likes to poke fun at herself in song. Like she knows she can't sing, but she'll still sing.
Yeah.
And she'll, like when you know you can't sing, and you'll do the oh. She does that in one song, and I'm just like, you can't sing.
Same with dancing, isn't it? We all know her dance moves are legendary, and she knows she's not the best dancer, but it's fine though, man. She doesn't take herself too seriously. I think that adds to the legend as well, man.
So no weaknesses in her.
I don't think that's a
Archie,
weakness. Yeah, I don't think that's a. I don't think.
Are there any?
Nah, man, because I generally can't. I feel like when you've had a run that she's had, I don't expect you to stay on top forever. Do you know what I mean? So I really can't.
And I'm not gonna
Yeah,
like everything.
I'm like thinking like weaknesses, like what she kind of did everything
And the stuff she.
you're supposed to do or could do as a rapper, and then impact discographies there. I don't know. Like I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I would put as a weakness necessarily.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
No, I mean there doesn't need to be. I'm just posing the question.
Yeah, I can't give it one, man. She was dealing with so much behind the scenes as well. Like I didn't know how. I don't know if I'm gonna speak on it, but I didn't know how. I knew how toxic her and Biggie's relationship was.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
But that thing is wild, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean she more or less said it on record.
Boy, he put a gun in her mouth, G, inside the studio. And how wild that is.
Well, they did a lot of shit in the studio.
Yeah. But like when you just hear
Yeah,
stories
no,
like that,
yeah,
like he put
yeah.
a strap in her mouth, well, that's a
Yeah,
lot to deal
serious.
with, man. Like that's a lot to deal with.
And she was young when she came in the game as
Yeah.
well, like 15, 16 or something like that.
I think she was 17 on what song was it? It's gonna bug me.
But get money.
I don't know if it was Get Money. It might have been Get Money actually. But she was like 17.
On Get Money.
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't know if it was Get Money. There was a song she was
Players
17 on.
Anthem.
Players Anthem. She was 17. Right.
She was on every big album as well, or both, in some capacity. She's been on a lot of classic albums, man. A lot of classic verses,
A lot of classic moments.
and there's not many rappers that can say that.
That have
Man
like,
or women.
better moments as well.
Yeah, man.
than-
Because I was looking at her features, like, she's got it's a few, man.
Well,
Quiet
she-
Storm's one of the greatest hip hop songs ever. Benjamin's one of the greatest hip hop songs ever. I was like, yo,
Money Power Respect is up there.
yeah, exactly. It's
And
up
she
there.
can perform, like live performance. She can perform too.
Have you seen her live?
Yeah, I have. She did like it's so random. Musicalized did like a showcase, like this is years and years ago, but Kim and Eve did a joint show. It was like a musicalized like showcase or something like that, and she was so good. And you can just see like from the BET Hip Hop Awards, like those performances when she's come through, like but I also do feel like all them lot from the 90s know how to, like they have like ultimate stage control.
Yeah, they grew up not having no backing vocals. Yeah. That's their thing. And by the way, the production on Lighters Up is crazy.
Yeah.
Scott's Torch put his foot in that, bro. The production behind Lighters Up, bro.
Would you want to see her with Nicki, like making music together?
I don't really care about
I
it.
think that train's run its course.
Yeah, that's done.
I think it's run its
Not
course.
at all.
I think it's run its course.
Maybe back in the day. Maybe actually no.
Yeah, once upon a time I probably would have wanted to see it, but I don't want to see it now. I don't care
this
about
point
it
now?
That ship has sailed.
Yeah, the train,
That ship
yeah.
has sailed because, I mean, I haven't listened to Kim's most recent album, and I know everything that Nicki's dropped post Queen has been absolute god awful.
Has she dropped? Oh, she's been dropping like little singles, yeah.
Yeah. What was that one with that she
With
got
Lil
mad?
Baby. No.
That she
Oh,
got
the
mad.
Grammy,
That
the
wasn't
one that
that
Super
wasn't
Freaky-
nominated.
Super-
Super Freaky Girls.
Super Freaky.
Yeah.
Oh, that was her first number one as well, wasn't it? Like it charted like
Did that really go
Billboard.
number
Yeah,
one?
yeah, it went number one.
That was a fucking
Yeah.
abysmal song.
Yeah.
And I didn't even mind the Queen album. Actually, no, the Queen album was whack. I'm lying.
There's some good songs on
was
there,
decent.
but overall.
I'm trying to think, what was it?
It was decent. Barbie Dreams.
Hard White. Not
I like
Barbie
the tune
Dreams,
with
but
Eminem.
Was Rich Flex on it? Or bugging?
Rich Flex.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Something
yeah with Wayne, Rich
Yeah,
Sex.
Rich
yeah,
Sex,
yeah.
Ganja burn, ganja burn. Yeah, no, I'm good.
No,
nah.
That's the one with Labyrinth on it. Yeah, no.
Work hard and you get in play hard. No,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
good, man.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't care about that anymore.
It's past the point.
Yeah.
I feel like it wouldn't benefit either of them. I don't think it would even benefit fans, really and truly.
Yeah, I don't even think fans want to see it, to be honest.
Who would you like to see her with?
What, you mean like producer or rapper? Or?
Rapper.
I think she's rapped with everyone that I'd want to see her with, man. She's rapped with all the greats.
I want to see her rap with Cardi.
I was just about to say
Yeah, I
Cardi.
want to see her rap with Cardi.
Because that would be more
I'm not a
organic.
Cardi fan, so
Yeah.
I can't speak
Nah,
to
do you know,
that.
that would be more organic to me than her and
Yeah,
Nicki.
that would make
Yeah.
a lot more sense.
Like, her and
Like,
Cardi just fit. Whereas her and Nicki, you could tell is kind of, especially the history.
Yeah.
I think her and Cardi would just be natural.
I think most women rappers, not Nicki, would make sense.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
Like her and Doja would probably be. If Doja was rapping, I think that would be a great song.
I've never got it.
With Doja, nah, she can rap, man.
I've never got it. She had a
She's
song
really
called
good.
Moo.
Nah, it's because before no,
Marketing.
we're not gonna do that. Because before that, she'd been making music.
Yeah.
She didn't just. She blew up with Moo, but she didn't just appear with Moo.
Oh, fair dues.
She'd been had music.
You guys, I just can't do it, man.
With Doja.
Yeah, I just can't.
You should. You have a good
She
time.
got hits though.
Yeah.
Nah, but
Listen, if she drops that album produced by Ninth Wonder and Jay Versace,
You think that's actually gonna drop?
she
I
got an
hope
album
so,
produced by
man.
Ninth Wonder.
I've got hood dreams for that one. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get
But
it.
fingers crossed.
I just don't get it. It's no knock against her. Salute
not
to
to
her.
get,
I don't know, man. I've tried to
not
do it.
to
I
get?
just can't do it, man.
Have you seen her?
Yeah. They got bald head. I've seen her.
Wow. That was unnecessarily aggressive. Yeah, I feel like any new gen rappers now, women rappers, it would make sense. As far as producers, to Peter's point, I feel like she's hopped with anyone that I would want to see her with.
Yeah.
Maybe like Just Blaze, maybe. That'd be cool.
I think I think Kanye may have got his first Grammy nomination because of her. I think it was off a song of the notorious k.i.m. I can't remember what song it was.
Did they produce on k.i.m?
I feel like it. It was either that one or the one after.
That's my favorite one, La Bella Mafia.
Okay. Yeah, it might
That
have
shit's
been on that one.
Great.
Mm.
Yeah, what's your favorite Kim albums?
Hardcore.
Oh, it's cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's a toss up between La Bella Mafia and Notorious K.I.M.
Yeah, La Bella Mafia just got banger after banger on it.
Yeah, because of
Yes.
Hardcore, like it's the first ever song I've sat through like a whole Little C song. Because the version of Crushing You on that is him on all three verses.
Criminal.
Yeah. No, it's actually sounded good. Cam wrote his
Yeah, but
verses.
even if
innit?
it sounded good, that doesn't fit with my agenda. When it
Yeah.
comes to Caesar Leo De Janeiro.
No, it was hard.
Yo, I can't lie.
He didn't write his verses though.
See?
Cameron wrote his
Can't lie.
verses.
Caesar-
so-
What is
doing
it? What is
here?
it? Caesar
It
what?
sounded hard though.
Caesar what?
What Caesar Leo De Janeiro?
That doesn't write his raps. What are we doing?
You know how nasty that name is, bro? That's a nasty name, bro. Caesar Leo De
It's got a
Janeiro.
ring to it, I guess.
No, it don't. It stinks.
Yo, I think Nee's the only person that I know who's listened to a Little C's album.
Has he listened
Has
to
he
it?
got an album?
Yeah, he's I think he's
come
got
on.
one album.
That's
That's
disgusting.
crazy.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's
Yo,
crazy.
that's
That's
disgusting.
That's
Yo,
crazy.
Lee, do better. That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
I think it's called The Wonderful World of Caesar Leo.
Oh, no.
Oh, see, that's even it's even a
Stop
dead
it.
name.
You might see the album
It even
cover,
sounds
yeah?
bad. It
That's even a
sounds-
dead name, bro.
You should see the album cover.
It's the album cover.
It's wild, man. It's him half naked.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I was gonna,
With a fedora.
I was gonna tell Jakes in post-pod to put it up on the screen, but don't actually do that now.
Yo, by the way, did he snitch on Lil Kim on the court case thing?
Yeah, they was beefing from
Yeah, I heard a lot of
Yo, this is terrible.
She said,
What is
"Fuck
this?
a few.
She said fuck Junior Mafia on
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. She said
Oh
fuck
my
Junior
God.
Mafia on the
Yeah,
Naked
because
Truth.
a few of them snitched on
Nah,
him.
he's
But
dead.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want the people to know, if anybody
I
goes
don't-
and Googles Little C's album pick, this is why the brother didn't make it.
Yeah, you could definitely.
That
You
is
know,
why
you
he
gotta
didn't
put it on the
make it.
screen. You gotta put it on the screen.
This album
Ah, cool,
cover
Jake, put it on the
stinks.
screen.
Yo, this album cover stinks, bro.
That's terrible.
Oof.
But speaking of album covers, Kim might have some of the most iconic.
Talk about
Yeah,
it.
she does.
Hardcore, k.i.m, even the Bella Mafia. Like, doesn't leave much to the imagination, each cover, but still great in their own ways.
Nah, salute to Lil Kim.
For sure, man, for sure. What is her lasting impact?
I used to be scared of the.
Can you stop?
Now I throw lips, handle it like a real bitch.
Mo, you see you, Mo.
You know,
You see you,
the
Mo.
more you do it, the more words you add.
This is
You're
what
getting
I'm
better,
saying.
better.
This is what I was gonna say. You see you, Mo. You said I used to be scared. Then you said I had lips to. What do you think that
Yeah, yeah.
says to the viewers?
Yeah,
What do you think
yeah.
that says? I put lips to what?
Take it whichever you want to take it, man. I'm a grown ass man. Now do I
If
do
you're a
it?
grown ass man, you will say the words then.
Hey,
Big
yo.
up Kim, man.
Big up Kim.
This
Can
is
I
it.
say the
These
words?
are- These are the conflicting.
This is
like,
what I'm
things
saying.
that-
This
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Because I
I used
can't
to
like-
be scared of the dick.
Go on, finish off.
I don't remember.
Now, go on.
Now I throw lips to the dick.
Whoa. God. Whoa.
But it didn't have the impact that you wanted it to have in the room, so boy.
It had an impact to me.
Wasn't bad though, was it?
Nah, it's fine, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's fine.
It's fine, bro.
It's
Nothing
very okay.
happens.
I'm very comfortable in myself. I don't know about you, but I'm very comfortable.
It's a great bar.
It's a 100% a great bar.
It's a great bar.
Listen, the way she made me reimagine the whole experience of having sex because she paints such a vivid picture of it, and it's like raw. I didn't even know that shit was possible. Like,
Kim might be one of the better rappers at rapping about sex as well, across the board. Like male rappers, like talking about
I'm not
sex.
even really trying to hear male rappers.
I
do
was
that,
just about to say
be
she's
honest
the
with
goat
you,
to
man.
me. Talk about sex. She's
Yeah.
the goat.
Because
to me.
they're only talking about from one angle,
Yeah.
but like with the women, they can go in with a bit more detail in it. So
facts. But yeah, what's her lasting legacy, guys?
man, bro, her impact is gonna it's gonna continuously be felt because it feels as though every
Female rapper that
that
comes out.
is taken from her that branch in it. So
There's
man,
more Kims than there is any other. There's the Rhapsody, but she comes from a particular lineage of rap as well. And there's just more Kims, and there's just gonna be more Kims.
Because there's so many things that if you're a woman and you rap and you may have gotten it from Kim. 'Cause
Whether
if you
you-
start talking
Yeah.
about sex in an overly descriptive way, that's Kim. If you kind of branch out away from rapping to the fashion thing, that's because of Kim. Like there's just so much, man. So it's like, boy, the lasting impact is probably going to be that, where it's going to be impossible to escape your influence.
Whether you know it or
Similar to Tupac and Jigga.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to escape their influence at this point.
So do you feel like there couldn't be a female rapper greater than Lil Kim?
But there isn't one currently, so
That's
For
a
now.
tough question, man. Because Lauryn Hill's great to me, but Kim probably is greater because I think she's probably done more.
I would agree. I'd put
Yeah.
Lil Kim
Yeah, she probably done
higher
more.
up than
Yeah.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Like Miseducation and The Score don't really cut it for me, if I'm honest with you.
Really?
What
Miss-
As
about,
far
what
as
about, what about,
as far as putting her up to a certain level.
No,
what
I
about
think,
Blunted on Reality, like the one from before,
I
with
mean,
the Fugees?
is that when they were
you're
called
the
the
only
Nappy
one
Heads?
that you're probably the only one that listened to that one.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
It's pretty good.
No, I think those albums are enough to put
Yeah.
Lauryn
As the-
Hill where
as
I
she
the
think
is.
greatest.
not as the greatest.
but to
Yeah.
put her in that
what I
conversation.
meant.
Yeah,
And Kim is
That's what I
probably out of Lauryn Hill, right? Like she was singing. Kim is actually just rapping.
Yeah.
She's just rap.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
only
yeah,
rapped
yeah.
and played around with but she only rapped. So if we're gonna talk rap, it's gotta be Kim.
Yeah, it comes down to what the conversation of the greatest. If we're talking just rap, then yeah, all
Normally.
encompassed.
Normally,
I will still have Missy as my goal. If it's all encompassed.
Same.
yeah, all encompassing.
Yeah.
The
All encompassed to
different.
me, Missy's always
But-
gonna be. No one, but if it's just raps, yeah, I agree.
Put Missy above Kim still.
Yeah, all encompass everything.
Is Kim
Yeah.
top 50?
Could argue it. You could 100% argue it. Yeah, she is. I put her up there.
What?
I don't know.
Ebony?
Yeah, definitely.
Peter? I'm not sure.
He just forgot that we were all in this room.
I'm not sure, you know.
I'm
I'm not sure, man. If you're putting her in now, I'm not mad at you. I'd have to really think about it now. Because I don't know what my criteria is.
Oh,
I think if it's totality, you could argue it.
And when you say totality, you mean impact as well?
Everything.
you
Yeah.
think if it's everything,
If
she's
it's everything,
probably
she's top 50.
if she's top 50, she's probably in the top 20.
Yeah.
There's so many rappers that haven't hit all
that's
the
true.
benchmarks
That's
that
true,
she's
actually.
hit.
Yeah,
that
that's
she
true,
probably
that's true.
it's it narrows down basically if you're gonna do.
And this is
everything.
assuming that we're putting male rap and female rap in the same.
Yeah, cool. Merge it all together.
everyone, yeah,
No, I'm
everyone.
on the same pedestal.
Yeah, I'm
everyone.
merging it all together.
Yeah,
So
everyone
But yeah,
together.
impact wise, she's definitely top 20.
Yeah,
100%. You gotta give her that. And rapping wise, rapping ability, you could argue top 50.
No, not for me. Not top 50.
I mean, what did you mean with your original question?
With totality.
Totality.
Everything. Yeah. But if we're just talking MCing,
MCing.
You gotta think about it, though, innit?
yeah, you got to think about it.
Yeah, you gotta think about it. But I was like, because
can
earlier
argue
when you asked the
Yeah.
question, I thought you meant rapping. That's why I said I can't.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It depends on who's in your top 50.
You could argue.
Because
Just impact. You can give her top 20. Everything encompassed. So now we're talking about impact, music, rap. Everything
she's still
encompassed.
probably
I've got to sit on it.
Yeah.
I've got to sit
When
on
it comes to judging a top 50 as far as rapping ability, are we counting the music or just the actual rapping?
Just to rap him.
Alright, cool.
the words that come out of your mouth.
Yeah. I think that's the
Able
only
to
list I
live.
can do. I've tried
So
to do
just the
everything
rapper.
and I got
Yeah.
laughed out of the room. Innit?
Yeah, you
What
did.
do you say?
I tried to do a top 50 list of everything and him and Nee, they shout at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I can't remember. That's how.
They shout.
I mean,
about
someone
it all
claimed,
the time, bro.
someone made a list of 50 better rappers than Wale because he's childish.
Oh yeah, that was so funny.
childish. That was
But
hella
Bear Man
childish.
agreed. You man agreed with me.
No, you're right, but that's not the point.
No, he added
It was the point. No, here's the thing. No, it was. That was the point. It was the point. The point was there are 100 rappers.
No, you
better
added
than
a
Wale.
couple. You added a couple.
Bro, you
pointless
agreed with
ones
95%. I'm good.
I give you that. I do.
And I don't think he's listened to a lot of the rappers on that list.
he
either.
Yeah, it was about 95%.
You think he's listened to Post the News?
Of course he hasn't. R.I.P. True Goy, by the way.
Yeah, for real, bro.
But no, of course he hasn't.
Yeah.
Salute to Chef G.
What?
No, I'm just.
Chef G. I
What?
thought you said Shock G.
Nah.
It would have been a shock to me if you listened to it.
R.I.P. Shock
I'm
G.
a P Shock G.
R.I.P. Shock G. But yeah, I stand by that list. And if you guys want me to make another list,
No,
for another rapper,
you're good.
Why
bro.
did you make that
Yeah,
list
can
for
you do that?
Wale anyway? Did he land on one of those
I
random
feel like
lists?
these guys love him off, and I was just
okay.
like, bro, there are better rappers than this guy.
Yeah, he's a villain. See what I said? He didn't want us to just enjoy Wale's music and, be in our joy. He had to like come
can't-
true. Like,
Did you put MGK on that list?
I can't enjoy Doom and Peace, so why should
Did
I
you
do
put
that?
Yeah,
MGK?
fair.
but I
Did
rate
you put
Doom.
MGK?
You know I rate Doom.
Yeah. Did you put
Not enough.
Did you
Sorry,
put
man.
Did you put Machine Gun Kelly on that list?
Of course not.
Whoa,
No,
whoa.
Mello, shout out to Mello. He suggested that, and I was like, that's a bit too far.
Okay, cool. I knew I put MGK from someone. I was like, what's going on here?
No, never.
You put Mac Miller on
I
there,
put
right?
Mac Miller
I'm just thinking amongst the whites. So you
Nah,
put
my
him in.
melody don't rap better than
You
Wale.
put like Yellow Wolf in them on there.
There's no way you put
No,
Yellow
I
Wolf.
didn't put Yellow Wolf. I didn't put Yellow Wolf.
My head was Yellow
But
Wolf.
Yellow Wolf can rap though.
Did you put Guru?
Don't sleep.
You say Yellow Wolf can rap?
Yeah.
Can Yellow Wolf really rap?
He can rap.
Did you put Grand Puba?
Yellow Wolf.
The way you're looking,
I
like,
could've though.
Bro, you know the only time I saw Yellow Wolf?
1-on-1.
The BT Cypher.
Could have won.
That's hard though.
Yeah,
That's funny.
hard, yeah.
That's the only time,
Grab people can spit.
only time I see Yellow Wolf. It was on like BT Cypher. You think I'm ever...
No, One Train. And
One
I
who?
actually listened to his debut
what-
album. That's actually good.
What happened to him actually though?
Nothing. He didn't start to
He
begin
went
with.
off to his farm.
Oh, fair.
I think he's
As
like
they do.
racist too.
He looks like it.
He apologized.
Wait,
No, actually, no, he's not a
Oh
racist.
wait, maybe he had some Confederate
he
flag.
he
stuff.
criticized people who were using the Confederate flag to prop up racism. So he renounced the Confederate flag. So he's
No,
one
but
of-
Royce was alluding to something that happened behind the scenes though.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Did you listen
Maybe he's
to,
changed.
Did you listen to Yellow Wolf?
Never in my life. Actually, no, tell a lie. Maybe
spud.
because of the BET Cypher. So I've heard
No,
him
that's
rap,
what I'm saying. I've heard about the
but I
BT
haven't
Cypher.
listened to like an album or anything. I wouldn't.
Yeah, the Cypher was poor
He's
as well.
better than man because he doesn't listen to Yellow Wolf.
Yeah, because I don't think we should listen to Yellow Wolf.
Because you're saying 100 rappers, so I'm just thinking of people that was around that time. Like, was Yellow Wolf on there?
No, he
Action
wasn't on
Bronson, them like.
Did you
I
find
think Bronson was up there.
Yeah, Bronson was on
I
that
think
list.
Bronson was on the list.
Bronson don't rap better than Wale B. Not at all, man.
He does be.
He's a chef now, anyway.
He doesn't, man. He doesn't.
Yeah,
man.
me is
went back
a
to being a
troll,
He
fam.
doesn't, man.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, me is nice to wait.
I'm not
That's
sure.
it.
But it's
Yes,
all
he is.
subjective.
Yes,
It's
he
all
is.
subjective, but you agreed with 90%, so it's calming out.
Definitely agree with 90%.
95 even. So did P.O. So that's fine.
No, Wale caught a straight for no reason, man. Poor Wale.
Who went to
And
Wale?
Wale's fire too, man.
And he's
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he is.
I checked out after the album, but nothing.
Mm.
Didn't like.
That was a
I
good
didn't like
album.
that one or The Gifted, and I was like, I'm good.
You like that?
Both
Yeah,
are
the
solid
Gift
albums too.
You like Ambition?
I liked.
Ambition was.
I like Ambition.
What about Wow? That's crazy.
I stopped listening after the.
Yeah,
album,
he
but
didn't
nothing.
listen to anything like. He didn't listen to Shine or anything like that.
I
I didn't like
Yeah.
Shine
I
though.
didn't listen to
Yeah,
Shine.
I didn't like The Gifted. I didn't like Shine, but Wow, That's Crazy is
Yeah,
Return to
yeah,
Form.
100%.
And the mixtape that he dropped in like after that as well.
Which one was that?
Like EP, it's like he dropped it during COVID.
Did they have Cassius Clay on that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. But it was
Salute
good.
to Wale.
Yeah.
Salute to
How
Wale.
have we gotten here?
I don't
I don't actually know.
But just saying, like, Kim is for Impact top 20, and she could be argued top 50 for rapping ability.
That's fair.
Fair. Any last words on Kim?
Yeah, she's a
love-
legend.
Yeah, man, that's it.
That's it. She's just a legend.
Pioneer, legend. And like you said,
She's
as
the
long
blueprint for a lot of this shit that's happening today, man.
As long as female, as long as there's always gonna be female rappers, there's always gonna be her at the top.
Okay,
Yeah.
Inspiration's gonna come.
Okay,
This is
Russell
it.
Brady
His
had an
ways.
album called Blueprint first. Sorry.
What's your problem?
Big is your name. Anyway, sorry.
What's your problem?
Anyway, yeah. Thank you, Lil Kim, for setting a standard, setting a bar, blazing a trail for numerous artists to follow. Your impact will always be in the DNA of hip hop, and that's the way it should be. So salute to Lil Kim.
Always.
And that will do it for episode 86 of the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast. Thank you, Ebony, for coming through.
Welcome. This was fun.
Thank you for coming through. You're always welcome to come back. How can people reach you if they want to reach you?
I'm not even really using my socials at the moment, but if you want to, you can follow me at Ebswellpeace on everything.
Sweet. Well, guys, any shout outs before we take the people out?
Cleo Soul. I'm so upset I missed
Oh,
the
you
tickets
didn't get
for that, man.
tickets.
So
Yeah.
now we're back to Salute
Oh,
and Cleo Soul.
Yeah, I was so upset,
They
man.
sold out in seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Apparently.
Did you get Ari Lennox tickets?
No.
Yeah.
I was so upset because I tried to get them at 10:10.
Oh, you was.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was.
Swear.
They were
Gone.
gone.
Oh,
you didn't
Yeah, they were
want
gone at
enough.
like 10.
You didn't want that,
Bro, I was on a work call. I couldn't get up. I was devastated, man. Yeah,
You couldn't move the work call now?
I couldn't, man.
Damn. You couldn't do it secretly?
Bro, I couldn't. I was on the phone.
Oh,
I couldn't.
okay. Damn.
Yeah, man.
Sorry,
the next
man.
time, innit?
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably. I think there's demand for the show.
Yeah, I think Salt are gonna have some sort of like gig at some point. So
You hope.
They might have a date as well, man.
She might have a
They
date.
might have a
I
date.
hope so, man.
She'll definitely have another show this year. For sure.
I was kind of surprised that she was even gonna do a show this year.
Random. But I think she's stepping outside a bit more now.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
Yeah, she was at that Montclair event on
with Alicia Keys and
Monday.
that.
Yeah.
that everyone was at apparently.
Yeah, the whole of London was apparently there.
Yeah, salute to Cleo Soul.
Yeah, always, man.
Mo, any shout outs?
Nah, you know. You should. Not really. Can't think of anything.
Not
You don't
really.
listen to R&B? Like
Oh, this
soul
again,
music? Nothing?
cause.
No.
What'd you say?
Do you listen to R&B? Any soul music? Any?
Nah, I'm
He
easy.
needs it. I tell him all the time.
I'm easy. I'm
Hell, it
easy.
needs the help to align his chakras.
No, I don't, man. I can't
Soul
lie to
music
you.
does not
So
do that.
it does
Course
not
it
do
does.
that. I can't lie to you.
No. No. But anyway, I don't have any shout outs. Obviously, we said rest in peace to True Goy, the Dove, and salute to the whole of De La Soul as well. You know, love and light to True Goy's family and friends and everybody affected. And yeah, shout out everybody for listening and watching, really. That's all I got. So yeah, we'll be back very, very soon. So thank you very much again. If you want to follow us and everything that we do, we're on @RhymesDimesPod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Follow us on YouTube as well and hit the bell so you're notified whenever we drop new content, whether that's new episodes, new segments, new album reviews, you name it, we'll have it. So please subscribe, please like, please share, helps us grow and all that good stuff. So yeah, until next time, take care, stay safe, and peace.